Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello, guys, welcome to Global Happenings Today. We have a trending news here for you, and the news headline reads: Minister for Transport-Rotimi Amaechi attack in Spain. But before we go on with details of the news and for the analysis, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to the channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish videos on YouTube. All right, let's look at the news in detail. What befell the Assistant Senate President some months ago in Germany almost happened same to Nigerian Minister for Transport, Rotimi Amaechi, as he escaped death by whisker after he was attacked by certain individuals believed to be Nigerians in Spain. The minister announced this via his Twitter page earlier today. He wrote, "Some minutes ago, I was attacked by a few misleaded Nigerians while on national assignment at a climatic change event in Madrid, Spain. They were quickly repelled by the Spanish police before they could harm me. I am fine. I was not hurt. Thanks for your support and prayer." Those were the words of the Minister of Transport. And this had sparked a lot of reactions by Nigerians. But we just want to look at this because this issue has been happening in different parts of the world. It first started with Ekweremadu, who went to celebrate New Yam Festival in Germany. But unfortunately, he was being attacked. It was a terrible sight seeing a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria being beaten up like that. It wasn't a good sight, and that was orchestrated by the indigenous people of Biafra, and they came out to confirm that they were behind that attack. But for this one, we are yet to know those that were behind that attack. And most people on the social media still linking it up to the IPOP members, that they are the ones that orchestrated the whole thing, because they had promised that in as much as Nigeria will not let them go, they won't also allow Nigerian leaders in the diaspora to be free to walk freely on the streets, that they will always attack them anytime they see them. So a lot of persons are attributing it to them, but though they've not come out plainly to tell Nigerians if they were behind the attack on the Minister of Transport. But all the same, we just want to look at this generally. One of the reasons that is behind some of this attack that we've seen fairly recently, some attacks are not actually attacks. Some come in form of protest. I could still remember when the President of Nigeria, Buhari, traveled to London on a private visit. Some group of persons went to, where he was staying, residing, and they started chanting. They started wooing him, and which is something you rarely see happen to European leaders or maybe American leaders, to be openly wooed in another country. They feel that since they cannot express their dissatisfaction or their displeasure over the things that are happening in the country, the only thing they can do is when these leaders come out of the countries, they can meet them their way. At least they know that their fundamental human right is being protected to exhibit their displeasure in one way or the other, and this has been recurring for a while. Now we just want to look at reasons why these things are happening. For the one that happened to Ekweremadu, it's traceable to the Igbos. They said that Ekweremadu is not actually in support of their secession. He doesn't want them to leave Nigeria. He's not supporting the dream of indigenous people of Biafra. That was why he was beaten, that he is actually a saboteur, that he's not doing the thing that he ought to do. That's why they decided to attack him. But outside that, the trend of things in Nigeria is the reason why we are seeing some of this attack Don't forget that this country on an annual basis will turn out not less than 5 million young people as graduates, and a lot of them go out, but they don't have any work to do. And before you know, and every day we are hearing that so much money is released into the economy, but those spending it cannot even be traced. And some of these guys, there's political people who are behind the expenditure of huge amount, or looting, not really expenditure, looting of Nigerian treasury. Though they are being known, but Nigerians, it seems as if we can't even help ourselves. We just watch them take the money away, and that's why, anytime they go outside the country, they don't receive so much of respect from Nigerians who are in the diaspora, and this is not really auguring well with our country. Another thing is the level of abandonment of the populace. The populace have been overly abandoned. Imagine the level of insecurity in Nigeria. Though the government said they are doing all within their powers to see how they can curb insecurity, banditry in Nigeria, and also kidnapping, but yet on a daily basis it is skyrocketing, it is increasing. So all of these are the reason why Nigerians are really aggrieved, and are getting angry why things are not being done the way they ought to do. And that's why they gave up that promise that anytime that Nigerian leader visit them abroad, certainly they must beat them up. And this one that just happened, as I did say before, now IPOD has not come out to take responsibility for it, but to some extent, a lot of persons are still looking at that direction. My colleague is here. What do you have to say about this attack on the Minister of Transport?
I actually saw this comment some weeks back after the attack on Ikwere Madu. That's some weeks back. There was a brief interview with him. One of these media persons had an interview with him, and he said that they can't try it. Attack me in diaspora, it's not possible. That cannot happen. To start with, my name is Amaechi Rotimi. I am not Southeasterner, I'm a Southerner. I'm from Rivers, I'm not from Southeast. And it looked as if, and he asked, is my hand tied? They can't try it. But I took it with a pinch of salt. It's not as if he's wrong in his analysis. When the rule of law is broken, when there's so much unrest in the country, when people when they put on their radios, their TV stations, their channels, they keep hearing negative insinuations, negative events happening in their home country. I'm talking about those in diaspora. And they find out that the rule of law is not respected in their home country. And they find you coming out there, honestly, their own way, especially where they know that protest is allowed. I knew it was going to come. When is what I didn't know. I didn't even know it's going to come straight to him. I was thinking maybe it's going to come from other sources. But when you keep taking the people for a ride, he said, "Look, you can do some of these things all of the time, but you can't do it. You can do some of this some of the time, but you can't do this all of the time." Nigerians have gotten it up to their neck. They can't seem to take it no more. If you can't be dealt with in the country, honestly, they believe. If you can't be there in the country, then if you come down in diaspora, they will deal with you. In fact, the slogan is remain in the country and correct the mistakes. So they feel, why are you coming outside to where things are happening properly, where things are functional? Stay back in the place where things are not functional. The other time, Sabi Abdullahi cried out that his constituency are overridden by bandits and kidnappers. That's because some of the monies meant for constituency projects has been siphoned by some of the corrupt leaders, leaving the indigenes helpless. The Bible says there's this saying that an idle man is the devil's workshop. If you don't, the youth are restive. Their strength, their glory is their strength. If you don't engage them, they will engage themselves. And don't forget that hunger has a way of giving you innovations. It's either to make you creative or to bring you the animalistic things out of you. And if there's nothing creative about it, then the next point of action is to look for a way to make body and soul alive. And maybe the nearest and quickest way is banditry, is kidnapping. And these are youth. Now, if nothing is happening in the economy, the youth are not productively engaged, That's what you get. And after a bit by bit, they will get bold. This is a normal thing, one-on-one, you can, but after a while, you begin to see them, they begin to attack the rich, the leaders, the politically exposed. We are getting there. And if this is not curbed, if the economy is not resuscitated and quickly too, I don't know, Amaechi, this may not be just the first time. More will likely come.
All right, thank you very much. As you rightly say, there had been a promise that we don't want them, said, according to IPOB, they said, hey, if you don't want to stay back in the country and get it corrected, then don't even bother coming over, because where you're coming into is where the right things are done. So why are you coming there to enjoy? Go back, stay in the darkness, stay around the areas where there are bad roads and all of that. Unfortunately, this is may be happening to some of the leaders who may not be overly guilty, may be happening to some of them. And unfortunately, just like the Bible talks about that one leaven it the whole lump. So in as much as the economy is not right, no matter who you are, whether you are a leader, your ministry is doing well or is not doing well, automatically these guys will attack you. The only thing we are praying is that during this process of attack, life should not be taken. But then our own leaders should wake up to their responsibility. We should see how we can take this country to another level. Try to see how you can allow Nigerians to enjoy their fundamental human rights and also allow the supremacy of the law to be felt. A lot of things are happening in the country. I don't want to bother you with the details, but the truth is things are not all right. That's why these guys are rebelling, are reacting anytime our leaders go outside. All the same, we'll leave it in your hands. Go to our comment section. What do you think? Who do you think is behind this attack? Many are preempting IPOB, and many are saying it, according to him, misguiding Nigerians. Who do you think is behind it?